Shalom, shalom. 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 So all right, so shalom. I want to begin this lesson by giving all praise, honor, and glory to our power, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Chakurash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of the great millstone who have taught us all this truth in the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. I am Shaquat, and I'm back with another lesson, Lord willing, and edifying to the hopeful elect, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Barakathum. To you, sincere, Akim Walkworth, and a sincere shalom to you, brothers out there pushing this truth on the highways and the byways, and through the YouTube lessons, man. Shalom unto you all. Lord willing us to be edifying and exhorting to the elect. All right, so without further ado, I want to get into it. Make sure it's to be edifying. Great. So you see by the title of the lesson is a cake not turned. All right, this is a quotation, basically a reference of Hosea, the 7th chapter and the 8th verse, which Lord willing we're going to grab here shortly. But I want to go into an Instagram video that I saw earlier. I made a few comments and posts on it. It's lucky. But just to get into it, I like to say fair use. This video will be let's just get this. How about that? I'll just get this. So this is going to be a copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyrights Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. And there you go. And this video is not going to be monetized. All right. So this is going to be unmonetized video. I'm not making any money off of this. So, just a disclaimer. So without further ado, just lock you up. Just forgive me for that. All right. So let's go to this Instagram clip. Oh, shit. We got the screen on. Forgive me. There you go.
Wave in the water. Wave in the water. I said, wait. Hi. My man. Oh. Ann Rice says it. Wave in the water. Wave in the water. I said, wait. Hi. My man. Oh. Ann Rice says it. Wave in the water. Wave in the water. I said, wait. Hi. My man. Oh. Ann Rice says it.
So Edomite posed this, Edomite looking guy posed this. Now, the whole point of the lesson is because I believe through the spirit that this guy here who looks like an Edomite, he's a Jake. I believe it. I actually have me and another brother. We know a guy who looks like an Edomite in our personal lives. He's a worldly friend of ours. And we believe him to be a Jake through the spirit. All right. Um, Now this is all through the spirit. I could be wrong. This dude could be an Edomite. This dude could be another nation. But truly through the spirit, this got to be a Jake. You know what I'm saying, nigga, like I can't. It's hard to explain, but brothers who watching, you will understand. You know what I'm saying? So, and it's like we see stuff like this on a daily basis. Israelite foreigners and speckled birds, right? So I just want to make a lesson to show you through the spirit, because I don't have nothing set up for this, but through the spirit, well, I got a Google search set up, but that's about it. Through the spirit, just to show you that we have truly been mingled into all nations through the scriptures. Like, so you have Israelites, like I made lesson yesterday. Yesterday, regardless, I made a lesson recently concerning how there are Israelites out there who believe that the 12 tribes only consist of black people, which there's no such thing as a black person. All right, we know it's so-called Negroes, right? None of our skin is black. My skin, you can see it clearly, is brown. All right, my hair is black, skin is brown. So no correlation between the two. But they believe all the 12 tribes are so-called black people. They don't believe in the so-called natives or Latin or Latinos being of the tribes. And there's someone who looks like a heathen, they just consider them a heathen automatically without reading the spirit, without properly vetting. And that's a major issue. Right? It's a major issue. So, for the dude, we're gonna get into some precepts here. We're gonna go on Google. So let's go here first. Let's go to and get this blue letter pulled up here. See the rocking, baby. Let's go to Hosea 7 and 8. Let's just start it off. It says Ephraim, talking about the northern kingdom, but you can say this for all the tribes, all 12, northern and southern. It says, he hath mixed himself among the people being the heathens. Ephraim is a cake not turned. Let's read that again. Ephraim, he hath mixed himself among the people. Ephraim is a cake not turned. All right. He's a cake not turned. Now, I went on Google and I searched this up, and I got images pulled up as well. I searched up, just typed in a cake not turned, nothing else, nothing more, nothing less. It says the phrase a cake not turned from Hosea 7 and 8 symbolizes the spiritual condition of Israel. All right. Which it's a spiritual and physical condition. All right. Which is going to show you why, indicating a state of being half-baked or incomplete due to their mingling with foreign nations and idolatry. Let's read that again. Indicating a state of being half-baked or incomplete due to their mingling with foreign nations and idolatry. Now, the idolatry part, that's where the spiritual condition comes from. Mingling with foreign nations, this is a physical condition. You always got to read in between the lines with Esau. He's always going to try to hide stuff. All right. So there you go. And it says, representing the Northern Kingdom. We already know that. So there you go. And then you go over here. And I searched up what a cake not turned look like. See how it's light, not really charred, not dark. You see images right here. Right here, let's show you some more. You got a pancake, right? That's a cake. You don't turn the pancake. See how you turn it? It's darker, it's more darker brown. You don't turn it. Look how light it is. All right, this is what Ephraim has been compared to. All right, here goes another one. The cake not turned. All right, this cake has not been turned. You see the bottom part is kind of charred. It's been turned, but this part has not been turned. Show you a few more, then we're gonna move on. All right. Same thing right here. So see if I can find another image. So this would be a cake that is turned. All right, nigga burnt that motherfucker. Uh, and then let's show you. Here go another one. A cake not turned. There you go. Because really, all the 12 tribes are supposed to be very dark melanated, or dark in melanin. Supposed to be very rich in melanin, which we're gonna go back to that in the kingdom when we get those new bodies, starting with the elect. All right, so there you go. So there you go. Lucky up. So that's a cake not turned. So let's go back here. So Ephraim has been compared to a cake that's not turned. Because why? We've been scattered, all right, as a nation. We're talking about the northern kingdom, but you could put the southern kingdom in there as well. We've been scattered as a nation, all right, throughout all different nations. We've been mingled among the heathen. Matter of fact, that's what it says in this next chapter, actually. It says in Hosea 8, in verse 7, verse 6, forgive me. For from Israel was it also the workman made it. Therefore it is not the Most High, but the calf of Samaria shall be broken in pieces. For they have sown the wind, and they shall weep the whirlwind. It hath no stalk, the bud shall yield no meal. If so be it yield, the strangers shall swallow it up. Now the strangers talking about heathens, and this is why I was going to say this. Israel is swallowed up. Now shall they be among the Gentiles as a vessel wherein is no pleasure. Now this Israel here is talking about northern kingdom once again, concerning the context, considering Samaria and all that, 2 Kings 17 and all that. But all Israel is swallowed up. All right, all of us have been swallowed up among the nations, man. All right, it says, now shall they be among the Gentiles as a vessel wherein is no pleasure. All right, so there you go. We are among the Gentiles. We've been mingled among the heathens. We've been swallowed up among no TD Jakes. All right, we've been swallowed up among the heathens. All right, so there you go. It's a scripture that literally say you were mingled among the heathens. Playing in my head here. Let me see. I'm just typing in mingled heathens. That's a literal scripture. Let me see. Where is it? No, you ain't gonna do me like that, Esau. I know. Psalm 106. Yeah, I knew it was a scripture. Esau, you ain't gonna play with me, champ. Yeah. Psalm 106 that go into this? I thought it was Psalm 135 that went into this. Hold on. Let me fact check myself. So I just got the verse mixed up all the time. So it's Psalm 130, 106, and 35. That 35 is what always throws me off. Okay. It would have been Psalm 135. I got it. Okay. So yeah, this whole chapter, pretty much is talking about our rebelliousness against the Heavenly Father. Okay. How we took unto the heathens' customs, followed their ways, just as we were commanded not to do. Especially when you go to Jeremiah, the 10th chapter, it says, follow not the way, learn not the way of the heathen. All right, but that's what we constantly did, still do to this day as a nation. But you have the hopeful elect here that are trying to do better. And the Lord is he's going to honor that, right? And so I just want to jump to this point here. I suggest you read this whole chapter. All right, I read this a while back. It's a very beautiful chapter. Hill's what you call it, Elder Yashawamba's favorite chapter. His favorite book to go to concerning this topic. He always pulling this. So this is Psalms 106 and 35, talking about Israel, but were mingled among the heathen and learned their works. So we have been mingled among the heathen, man. It's Deuteronomy 28 and 64 tells us we have been scattered among the nations, which is a diaspora. All right, where we learned their ways, followed their gods, and we even popped their people. We popped their women. All right, and now we look like them. You know, children typically take on the skin color, skin complexion of their mother. I don't know why the Lord has it set up. In the kingdom, when we pop these nations, they gonna come back charred. You know, that shit don't even matter. But yeah. But anyway, so we look like a lot of the people. It only takes a few generations. You got your Blake Griffins. Now Blake Griffin father is black as hell. He black, dark as shit. He's a Haitian, a Levite. But Blake looked damn near like an Edomite a little bit. But you can kind of tell he's a Jake still, even though he's so light in complexion. But then you look at his son. How about I show you all this? Let's show you this stuff. How about that? I can just search on here. Cool. This was not cool. This is not cool. You could kind of see, you know, even though he's very light complexion, you could tell this dude is a Jake still. His father is a Levite. That's his pops right there. Let's click on this. What the fuck? Salakia. Yeah, what the fuck? Well, this is Blake Griffin. All right, then we're going to show you his pops. Blake Griffin, father. This is Blake Griffin's father. And look at how he looks. And that's his mother. See what I'm saying? So there you go. Ephraim is a cake not turned. You cannot make this stuff up. And like I said, you could group, though this is Southern Kingdom, it's a Levite. You can group it. You can group all the tribes in. All right. So this is a Southern Kingdom Israelite, a Levite, looking like an Edomite, damn near. You know, well, you can kind of tell in the facial features and all that stuff. This is Jake. The boy could jump out the building, man. Jump out the building when he was in his prime. Good Lord. Anyway, so let's go to Blake Griffin's son. This is what his son looked like. Blake Griffin, just as his mother was an Edomite, he even went on to have a child with an Edomite as well. So let's show you. This is Blake Griffin's son. They look just like an Edomite. You see, all it took was 2 generations, man. That's all it took. All it took was 2 generations. Blake Griffin, then his son. That's his wife. Look at this man's son. Look like a straight Edomite, but he's a Levite. This is what we're talking about, man. But Jake don't have no understanding on that. And then you have these stupid Christians out here who lack understanding on what we really teach. Y'all say only blacks can make it to heaven. We don't say that shit. The true prophets, we don't say that shit. The men of Great Millstone and like-minded brothers, we do not say that shit. We don't. Because look at this. We just showed you what his father looked like, and his father's a Levite. Look at what Blake Griffin's son looked like. Look at what his father's grandchild looks like. After 2 generations of having sex with Edomite women. Look, it happens that fast. That fast, man. Sometimes it only takes 1 generation, depending on how the Lord has it set up. Look at that, man. Let me see if I can show you another image of this man's son. Let me see. Yep, there you go. Look like a straight Edomite. All right. So there you go. It's just that fast. Let's show you another example. Patrick Mahomes. So this is what Patrick Mahomes looked like. Right? You could tell he's a Jake. Just off this. He looked like an Ephraimite. I'm not too sure what he actually is from tribe, but see what his father looks like. But Patrick Mahomes, he's an Edomite. Edomite. That's a slip of the tongue, but not in the heart. All right, Patrick Mahomes is a Jake. All right. This is what his father looks like. You see what Patrick Mahomes looked like. This is what Patrick Mahomes' father looks like. All right. But you see what Patrick Mahomes looked like. After one generation, Patrick Mahomes is very light in complexion. He's a cake not turned. All right. Just that quick. But look at his father. He's very melanated. He's very rich in melanin. You understand? Let me see what his mother looked like. Father and mother there. Let's see what his mother looks like. I've never seen her. All right, how about I just type in this? This is his fucking wife. I didn't ask for that. Yeah, here we go. So this is his mother, an Edomite woman. So his dark father had a child with an Edomite woman, and this is what Patrick Mahomes came out to be. And you can even look at this picture here. All right, I don't know if that's his little sister or not. That might be his little sister. I believe it is. That is his little sister. And this is also his little brother, his little faggot ass little brother. All right, and fucking Mo. Don't take my video down, Esau. I'm sorry, man. I had to say it. Please don't take the video down. My bad. But yeah, anyway, so you see how light in complexion they are. That's after one generation. Well, Pat Mahomey, he decided to go deal with an Edomite woman again. So this is the second generation of dealing with an Edomite woman. All right, this is her. This is his wife. All right, plastered a dumb bitch on the internet because that bitch is fucking stupid. But that's neither here nor there. None of my business. Whatever, right? But this is his wife. Well, let's show you what Patrick Mahomes' children look like. Let's show you what his children look like. Stupid ass boondocks. This is his children. Looking like fucking Edomites, man. Look at that. Let me show you. Let me see if they got a picture of older, because this kind of old. It's like 2 years ago. They got a more recent picture. Click through a few of these, I'm going to show you a few of these. So these don't look like Edomite children, especially her. See, you could tell a little bit with her, but look at this, especially her. It's like just a straight little Edomite girl. All it took 2 generations. Now look at that. Let's show you. Let's show this picture. Look at that. All it take. That's all it took. Was 2 generations, man. And you could look like a completely different nation. Now imagine what a 3rd generation will look like. Now the children ain't gonna grow up to be able to see what that would look like, because destruction is coming before they get a chance to grow up and do that, right? Lord willing, of course. But we ain't gonna be here no damn 1,000 more years. So destruction gonna happen before these children could grow up, and you can see what would happen if they go on another generation of that. More preferably the men, the sons, popping white women, Edomite women. The daughters, it don't matter; they don't carry any seed. But yeah, so There you go. All it took was 2 generations, and you have many things like this. Let me show you another one. Anybody? I'll show you one more before we move on. Anybody ever heard of Jason Kidd? Beast, man, beast. This is Jason Kidd. I used to think this dude was a fucking Edomite for the longest. This is Jason Kidd, man. Look at him. Take a nice look at Jason Kidd. I'm gonna show you what his fucking father looks like. Let me show you. This is Jason Kidd. All right. I'll show you what his daddy looked like. Oh, they got it over here. Let's type this in. That's Jason Kidd's daddy. Look at him. Look at this man daddy. This is Jason Kidd. This is his father. His real father, yes. This is his, hell, they look alike, shit. This is his father. Look at Jason Kidd. Look at the little girl in the back. This is daddy. I don't know if that's his little sister or his daughter. Who the fuck knows? This is daddy right here. Come on, man. And all it took was 1 generation. Because I thought that, man, now when you find out he a Jake, you could kind of see it in the facial features. But if you don't know, this nigga look just like a Edomite. You ain't paying attention. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't paying attention, nigga look just like a Edomite. But this is a Jake. Look at, you seen his daddy, man. All right. See if we got any more pictures of the father. Save, man. No, I don't think that's the same dude. No. You get the point. All right. You get the point. The point has been made, nonetheless. All right. So there you go. Just to give you a few examples. All right. So now when you go back over here, I want to go to, let's also go to the book of Jeremiah 12. All right. Let's get 12 and 9 here. This is Jeremiah 12 and 9. It says, the Lord said, Yahweh himself, he said, mine heritage is unto me as a speckled bird. All right. Now, when you go into the word speckled bird, let's go into that. Let's go into speckled.
Strong's H, 6641. Savuer. Savuer.
Savuer. Savuer, and it means colored, variegated. Speckled, meaning in variation. Variegated means in variation. All right. So there you go. Dyed in stripes. All right. So look like a variety. A speckle, and then when you go into that word bird, shit. Super prey. So there you go. So it says, mine heritage is unto me as a speckled bird. The birds round about her are against her. Now these birds right here, the birds here is of Israel. The birds right here are heathens. Come ye, assemble all the beasts of the field, come to devour her. Come to devour. All right, but the point is, Israel, because a heritage is starked by what nation it is, man. The nation makes the heritage. All right, so when the Lord said mine heritage, he's talking about his people. All right, because the scriptures say, when you go to Deuteronomy 32, it says, we are the lot of the Lord's inheritance. And an heritage goes back to an inheritance. So the Lord is speaking to the Israelites here. It says, so mine heritage is unto me as a speckled bird. So we look like everybody. Look like all nations. You have Jake that looks like Ham. You have Jake that looks like Ammon. You got Jake that look like Moab. Not Jackie Chan. Well, he could be a Jake too. You know, he could be a Jake too. But Bruce Lee, he's a Jake. Conor McGregor, if your spirit can receive it, that's a Jake. we could get into this all day, all the day long. All right, Canelo, Jake. You know what I'm saying, we could go all day with this. You understand? So, and brothers, brothers may not agree with what I'm about to say. I believe Obama's a Jake. Fuck that nigga, he a bitch, but I believe he's a Jake. That nigga got some swag to him. That nigga don't move like no fucking Hamite. He looked like a Hamite. His father was a Hamite, but his father, somewhere down the line, that nigga's a Jake. All right, that nigga got too much swag. He got too much salt. Ham ain't got salt like that. Though Obama is a wicked nigga, he gonna pay for a lot of the things he did. He's a Jake, a super fucking wicked Jake. That's all, So, and he looked like a Hamite. And he's known as a Hamite. Well, people think he's a black American, but he's known as a Hamite. He's a Hamite, supposedly, but he's really a Jake. All right, so there you go. We look like everybody, man. Everybody. All right, and we've been devoured by them, by the nations. You understand? So, hey, you even have a lot of the nations, they popped our women. So a lot of niggas walking around looking like Israel, they really ain't Israel, man. They heathens. They tares, as it says in Matthew the 13th chapter. They're tares. So let's actually go to that parable real quick. Matthew 13, concerning the wheat and the tares. So this is Matthew 13 and 25. 24. Another parable put he forth unto them, saying, the kingdom of heaven is likened unto a man which sowed good seed in his field. But while men slept, his enemy came and sowed tares among the wheat, and went his way. But when the blade was sprung up and brought forth fruit, then appeared the tares also. So the servants of the householder came and said unto him, Sir, didst thou not sow seed in thy field? From whence then hath it tares? All right, now if you aren't caught up to speed yet, these tares are Edomites that look like Israelites, or you could also even say, it could lump this in as well. I just had to say it what it really means first, but you could also say a heathen that looks like an Israelite. And the wheat are Israelites that look like Edomites, or you could say, once again, Israelites that look like any other nation outside of Israel. And we're so scattered and mingled that you have certain Israelites that look like a tribe, but they're really not that specific tribe. They're a different tribe. Like I said, I made this remark the other day. I know a brother from the St. Louis camp named Dawad. You're probably going to see this again. If you see it, shalom to you, brother Yabashim Shabrakatah, right? But point is, I always thought when I first met him, didn't see his garment or none of that stuff, wasn't paying much attention to it. I thought he was Judah or some type of Southern Kingdom. Brother's a Gadite. He's a Gadite, don't look shit like a Gadite. Now I can say, since I learned he was a Gadite, I could kind of see through his mannerisms. I can see through his mannerisms and some of his facial features. He's a Gadite for sure. But you would think he was a Jake. You think he was a Judite or something. You know what I mean? You would think he was a Judite. So you even have Israelites who look like a certain tribe, but they're really not that tribe. You got Southern Kingdom looking Israelites that really are Northern Kingdom. You got Northern Kingdom looking Israelites that's really Southern Kingdom. I've met both. I've seen both. So that's how really scattered we are. We're very scattered. We're very mingled. But the Lord going to set everything straight in the kingdom. All right. He's starting it right now. It says, so the servants of the householder came and said unto him, Sir, didst not thou sow good seed in thy field? From whence then hath it tares? Then said unto them, he said unto them, I'm so exhausted. Please forgive me. An enemy have done this. The servant said unto him, Wilt thou then that we go and gather them up? But he said, Nay, lest while ye gather up the tares, ye root up also the wheat with them. Let both grow together unto the harvest. Oh, forgive me. I knew I was forgetting something. I'm gonna come right back here. Let's go back to 25. I'm like, I didn't break something down. But while men slept, his enemy, talking about Edom and other heathens, but Edom came and sowed tares, meaning planted his seed among the wheat, meaning these devils, including other nations, but mainly these devils, they came and they also, just like we planted our seed in the other nations, they also planted their seed among our women and went his way. So you have a lot of Jakes, a lot of people who look like Jakes, but they're truly heathens. That's where the tear comes in. All right. Now I know a few too. I've seen that. I've seen Jake that look like Edomites in other nations. I've seen heathens that look like Jake. Now I'm talking about from southern to northern. I met a few Edomite, a few southern kingdom and northern kingdom looking Edomites or heathens. All right. Anyway, they got no salt. Nothing they do. No salt and nothing they do. Niggas just stiff as shit. Nigga, ain't no salt. No hips, no nothing. Just niggas just you heathen, man. But he said, nay, all right, let's get back down here. Let both grow together until the harvest. And in the time of harvest, I will say to the reapers, gather ye together first the tares, and bind them in bundles and to burn them, but gather the wheat into my barn. All right, meaning coming into the fold. So there you go. All right, so I want to go grab this out of the book of let's grab this first. I was gonna go to Amos, but let's grab this first out of Deuteronomy 30. Restoration promise. Let's start at 1. Deuteronomy 30 and 1. And it shall come to pass when all these things are come upon thee, the blessing and the curse which I have set before thee, and thou shalt call them to mind among all the nations, whither the Lord thy power have driven thee. All right, because the Lord scattered us, all right, upon all the nations. So what he's doing, he's like he just said it, he's going to call us back into remembrance out of the midst of all nations, because that's where he scattered us. It says, whether the Lord thy power, whether the Yahweh thy power have driven thee. It's right here, man. I ain't even got to break this down. You can just read it, and it says it already. Ain't nothing to break down here. It says, and shalt return unto Yahweh thy power, and shalt obey his voice, like the scripture said in Baruch 2. And in the land in the land of their captivities, they shall remember me and call upon my name. All right. It says, and shalt obey his voice according to all that I command thee this day. And you're seeing that. Thou and thy children with all thine heart and with all thy soul. All right. What the nigga always say, a Christian nigga, a bitch ass nigga always say, yo, only could go to Deuteronomy 28 to prove we're Israelites. You can't go nowhere else. You lying. And who cares if we only go to, say a brother do only go to Deuteronomy 28. So the fuck what? Is that in the Bible or not? Bitch. Like, what the fuck wrong with niggas? It's like when you go to the Old Testament even. The Old Testament, nigga, is it in the Bible or not? That's the Apocrypha. Is it in the Bible or not, nigga? Shit. You niggas got every excuse to turn your heart, man. Stupid niggas. Anyway, it says that then Yahweh thy power will turn thy captivity. So eventually he's going to end this motherfucker. He's going to end this captivity. It's going to end at some point. We're in captivity. Well, we've been in more than 7. But we're in major captivity number 7. Crazy word. It says, and have compassion upon thee, and will gather, and will return and gather thee from all the nations, whither the Lord, Yahweh thy power, have scattered thee. So the Lord is going to gather us from all the nations. Why would he have to gather us from all the nations if we weren't scattered into all the nations? Another question for niggas who say the heathens can be saved. Why would the Lord gather us from all the nations if the heathens can receive salvation? He should just leave the Israelites that look like heathens there. Then just leave them there. Israelites who follow in heathen ways, leave them there. It don't matter if the heathens can be saved. Then what the fuck he got to gather us from all the nations for? That's dumb, correct? Another one. If all the heathens can be saved, meaning everybody can be saved, what the fuck do we need salvation for then? There's nobody to save anybody from. If everybody can get salvation, what the fuck are everybody? I don't get it. What are you getting saved from? Everybody getting saved, so what the fuck is the problem? The hell we doing then? We wasting our damn time at that point then. All right. It says, if any of thine be driven out unto the uttermost parts of heaven, from thence will the Yahweh thy power gather thee, and from thence will he fetch thee. All right. And there you go. This is talking about the Lord restoring us, man. And it's starting now. Starting now. So I want to go to the book of Amos, chapter 9. All right. And I'm going to get verse 9. Yeah. Amos 9 and 9. For lo, I will command, and I will sift the house of Israel among all nations, like as corn is sifted in a sieve, yet shall not the least grain fall upon the earth. All right. So if we weren't scattered into all nations, why the hell is the Lord sifting us from all the nations? The fuck is going on? Well, he's sifting spiritual Israelites. This is dumb. And if heathens can receive salvation, why are Israelites being sifted from the heathens if they can receive salvation? That makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? It sure does, huh? That makes so much sense. So much sense. So like, anyway, forgive me of my folly, man. Forgive me. But yeah, so said if I had anything on my mind concerning this, because you know you can go into 1,000,001 things concerning us being scattered and looking like the heathens. But you know, you got the Maccabees, you know, we were Hellenized, things of that sort. You had the Canaanite woman in Matthew 15 that came up to Yahushua, he healed her daughter, showing that she was really an Israelite, said, "Oh, great is thy faith." You know, only Israelites have faith. You know, we could prove that through scriptures if we ever came up on it, but only Israelites have faith. What else? You know, you could prove that only Israelites have faith through Ephesians 1 and through Ephesians 2 and 8, it being a gift of the Most High, and then through also Romans the 9th chapter, the service of the Most High only being given to the Israelites. All right. Trying to think. So, you know, you can go into that. Oh, you got Cornelius in Acts the 10th chapter. You know, I'm just quoting stuff at this point. You know, Cornelius, Acts the 10th chapter, you know, through the Spirit, we know he was an Israelite. As Peter was sent to speak to him, you know, he got a vision, and the vision he was sent to start prophesying and preaching. You know, he sent to him, basically. And you had a whole situation with Apostle Paul, Yahushua calling Apostle Paul. You go read about that in Acts the 26th chapter. You know, but yeah. So I'm gonna just end the lesson off there. That's really all I have in my spirit right about now. So I do hope and I pray that this was an edifying lesson unto you all. All right, I'm going to close it by giving all praise, honor, and glory to our power, Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai Bahashim, Rachakudash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who have taught us all this truth in the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai. And until next time, Abba Bo, Kwam Yasharallah, Gadol Abadyam, Lababo Hagadol, Yahweh Mahar, Wa Ahapatham. And until next time, I would like to say unto you all, Shalom. The water Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai. For allowing me to make this.